There's a lot of information out there on how to hit a chip shot off a nice fluffy lie, but how do you hit a chip shot off a tight lie? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do it because quite honestly, it's not as difficult as you think. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV and the Sanford Power Golf Academy. And a lot of information out there might help you hit chip shots off those fluffy lies, but what about a lie like this? I've just missed the green, I've got a little bit of an upslope, but the grass is mowed really tight. It's what we call a tight lie. All right, so here's what we got. The first thing is this is what most of you are probably doing. You're grabbing the wrong club to hit the shot. Most of you are grabbing a high lofted club. I've got a 58 degree here, right? And this is what you're doing. You're taking your 58 degree, you're playing it back in your stance, and you're leaning the shaft forward. Now, when you do this, what happens is that the leading edge goes down and the club is going to dig into the ground. So when I'm set in here, when I move the ball back and I move my hands forward, you'll notice the leading edge goes down, and if I hit behind it at all, I'm gonna chunk it. Now, if you do that on a fluffy lie, you're probably okay, but on a tight lie, you've got problems. So, why is this shot so difficult? Well, one is, of course, the tightness, but also you'll notice here, notice the slope. The ground is higher above me here, and then it slopes down this way. When it's that way, the grass tends to grow into you, into the shot. And you know what I'm talking about, like when you've got a shot and it's almost like an uphill shot and the grass is growing against you, that makes it more difficult. So, what should we be doing? Well, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a different club. You're gonna grab your pitching wedge, all right? Now, when you grab your pitching wedge, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna actually rotate the face a little bit open. By taking your pitching wedge and rotating the face open, now you've got more bounce on the bottom and you actually have more loft, all right? So think about this. We grabbed our 58 and we de-lofted it to, let's just say, 48 degrees for sake of discussion. But now I'm going to take my pitching wedge and I'm going to rotate it open to, let's say, 48 degrees, right, or more loft. Now all of a sudden I got a club with the same loft as the 58 because I've rotated it open, but I've also got more bounce, all right? So that's the first thing you're going to do. Now let's talk about the setup. And I got to tell you this already. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. And also, if you got questions or comments, put them in there because we do our best to answer every single one of them, all right? So let's keep moving. I've got my pitching wedge and I know I'm going to rotate the face open a little bit. Now the other thing, and this is probably the most important thing, is ball position. So I've got my alignment rod right here, and what I'm going to do, it's one of my favorite drills, is I'm going to put this so that it's basically straight out from the ball, right, like so. Okay, so here's my target line, right? Going to that cup right there. I've taken my alignment rod and just set it up perpendicular to the ball right there, right? Now I can tell where that ball is relative to my feet, okay? And you want that ball to be positioned right in the center of your heels. Most of you are set up with it back here, okay? Get that ball more in the center of your heels like so. Get set up, take the face and rotate a little bit open, and what'll happen is that club will bounce through the turf nice and smooth every single time. Now, that's the setup, but how about the motion, right? And then at the end here, I'm gonna show you my favorite drill to practice to hit these chip shots off the tight lie. All right, so here we go. I've grabbed a club with less loft. I've rotated the face open. I've got the ball in the center. All the setup stuff is right where I need it. Now, here's the most important part in the motion. When you swing through, I want you to feel like the butt end of the club right here, okay? The butt end of the club works back and up towards you a little bit. Okay, let me do it again. Here we go. Watch the butt end of the club. Here we go back, and it comes towards me. Most of you are doing something like this. The butt end of the club goes towards the target. You see how I did that? And you see what happened when the club hit the ground? Let me do it again. Here we go. Watch the butt end. Goes towards the target, and then you hit behind it, and also the club tends to grab. So the key here is when you finish, feel like the butt end of the club comes a little bit closer to you. Let me go ahead and show you, and then I'm going to show you my favorite drill to practice at. So here we go. A little more loft, right? Rotate it open. Ball in the center. And then when I finish, notice where I'm at when I finished. A little bit closer here. Club bounced right through the turf off that nice tight lie, which is kind of a challenge for a lot of us, and that was a pretty darn good shot. Hopefully that's making sense. Now, if it doesn't, put some questions in the comments there. I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, be sure to check us out also on our website at usgolftv.com. We got all types of different content there. Now, let me show you my favorite chipping drill. All right, this is the magic right here. When you're hitting chip shots, this goes really for any lie. My favorite drill to do is just to make some swings with my dominant hand. So for me, that's my right hand. And I'm just gonna swing it back and through. See that? And I'm just letting the club bounce through the turf. What happens when you do this is you create some rhythm and some flow, and just instinctively you get the club to work the way that you want it to. You would never do this, just instinctively, right? But when you put two hands on there, we tend to do that. So let it kind of go through a little bit. There it is, see that? Okay, and you can see this tight lie here, because every time I hit a little bit behind it or I get the leading edge down, it tends to grab. So ball in the center, face a little bit open. All right, when I swing it through and when I finish, the butt end is gonna work a little bit more up and towards me. Look at that, go in the hole. Nice. That's how you hit a chip shot off a tight lie.